Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I got the kids off to school. I'm good to go. I got cinnamon in my coffee, and I'm actually looking at CNBC right now, and the guy, I always draw a blank on his name, the bald guy who is such a pro-central bank guy. He drives me crazy because it's like he came straight out of school, and they put the stamp of, okay, you're our guy, you're our little lackey, and so now I want you to go out there and tell everybody how great central banking is and the Federal Reserve and all that, and he defends them to the death every day on this channel. It's like disgusting. Okay, before I get going, I wanted to give Ed French a shout out. He's at Ed French 12. He just had a baby, and he told me the baby's name is Tommy, and he told me it was okay to show the picture. Crawl, walk, run the world. And he said that this is his 7th child. I don't know how you do it, Ed. This is his 7th child, and I think he said he was in his 50s. So, Ed, you got a long road ahead of you, man. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but I can tell you this: at 45 with a 7-year-old, there are days that I just don't know if I can do it. Now, I am throwing a lot of baseballs and everything seems more sore every day, and it's like a new injury every day. But good luck, Ed. That's what I'll tell you. But I'll also tell you, I'm going to give you a name because you asked for one. Ed wanted to be the official oldest new father, law-abiding, Harley-riding hodler of the Digital Asset Investor channel. So it is, Ed. Congratulations on the birth of your son, and congratulations on your new title. Okay, moving along. All right. I got Kevin Cage asked me. I wanted to make sure I give him credit. Now, those of you that don't listen to Kevin Cage, you should go give him a follow on Twitter. This guy has got a YouTube channel as well, and he's got one of the best radio voices I've ever heard. He and Dustin Plantholt remind me of a similar character. They both have these like voices that it's like you want to go have dinner with guys like this. I would like to go have dinner with guys like this just so I can hear them ask me to pass the pepper in the radio voice. It's like I wonder what people in their everyday lives do, like a girlfriend or a wife. What it's like when you're in a house and you're talking to one of these guys and they're like, honey, it's time for dinner. And they got that voice. It's like such an amazing sounding voice. And it's pure jealousy on mine. And I wish I could talk like that. It would probably help my channel greatly, but I don't. And so I've got to live with what I got here. So I'm sorry, folks. Hey, at least my microphone's a little better now that I've got my new computer. But anyway, Kevin Cage is doing a great job with his YouTube channel as well. So go give him a listen to and a subscribe on YouTube as well. Well, he sent me this and asked me if I would mention it. And I had seen the video. Look at this. This is from Bank XRP, and this XRP Venture had sent this out. So give him a follow as well and some credit. But Bank XRP had tweeted out, this is when in the congressional hearings with Jay Clayton, and there was a star that was born out of these hearings, and the guy's name is Anthony Gonzales. Everybody in the community should follow this guy and encourage him to keep telling it like it is the way he did here. There was an exchange, and he more or less told Jay Clayton, what's wrong with you guys? He says, blockchain is here. It's a technology is being developed, but now folks are moving to Singapore, Switzerland, and the UK because the clarity and my concern. When can we expect something a little bit more concrete from the SEC? I just want to encourage you guys to go faster. So this guy right here, in honor of his telling it like it is, which I love, I'm going to do a thumbnail with him. I'm going to put XRP on his jacket, and we're going to see if we can make this guy famous. And these are the kind of people that we want to encourage, the kind of people who sift through all the BS and tell it like it is to the people who are not getting their jobs done. And I think we can fairly say that the SEC chairman, he can say whatever he wants to say, but they're not doing their job. The fact that you have companies leaving the United States is testament to the fact that the SEC is not doing their job. The government entities in the United States are not doing their job. Now, what I am starting to see out of a lot of people now, but anyway, XRP Venture goes on and he says, everybody needs to follow this guy. You all do need to follow this guy. But what I'm starting to see more of is this type of thing. This is from Savvy XRP. I'm beginning to believe that not all these regulatory delays are part of the plan, but more closely related to gross incompetence at the highest levels. I hope I'm wrong. And I responded to him, you mean Bitcoin delays? Because when we talk incompetence, look no further than the head of the Financial Services Committee of the United States, one of the most powerful countries in the world, who in an interview says Bitcoin. Now, you may call that just a slip of a tongue. I call it an indication of other things. But this type of talk is more and more what I am hearing. Now, what I want to remind you all of is remember who the people that are a lot, not all, remember a lot of the people that are in power. These are the people that go to the many of them, not all, but many of these people are the people who go to and I'm not talking about the elected officials. That's a different discussion. But many of the people in SEC and all these agencies where they are handpicked, these are the people who are many times are from wealthy families, powerful families, and they are sent to the elite schools, the Harvards, the Columbias, and many times, not all, many times they're just kind of placed there. Who knows if it's a phone call? We know this happens because we've seen it in the news in the last year where I can't remember the name of the actress and all, but they were just the ones that got busted. But make no mistake, the powerful and rich families of the world make sure that they place their children at these schools. Now, once they come out of these schools, these Ivy League schools, which have the stamp of approval that you are now smarter than everyone else, and once they come out of these schools, then they can be placed in all these pet places, and everybody can say, well, they're the smartest, and so these are really smart people that are running this organization, this organization. Well, it's all a bunch of bunk. The smartest people I've ever known in my life are the ones who figure out, they're you and me. They're the people who are out there working their asses off in this world and figure out a way to support their children and figure out the hard way. All these people that are stuck in these government jobs and all and considered the elites of the world, those aren't the bright minds. The bright minds are you and I. The bright minds are the ones that were sitting at home and are always looking out for a way to take their families and their children's lives to the next level. It's not these people who are handpicked because they got the stamp of, oh, you went to Harvard, therefore you're smart. No, it's the people that are out here fighting the fight. It's the people that figure out how to survive. Many of the people out here, they don't have that leg up. They weren't given the extra boost that a lot of these people from the wealthy and powerful corners of the world were given. We are the ones. It's not them, but that's not how they see it. We are gum on the bottom of their shoe. That's the way we're looked at. And make no mistake, the incompetence is real. And so these guys that are saying this, they're on it. John Kevin Mew says it again. I think a question that's never been asked is the SEC up to the task of regulating digital assets, cryptocurrencies? We might be asking too much of an institution that might also have absolutely no idea how to handle the newest asset class in over 500 years. And he goes through a whole diatribe here, and he's making a lot of good points. And I'm not attacking the SEC itself. I'm attacking just government incompetence itself. I'm not even saying that Jay Clayton is incompetent. That's not my point in going on this diatribe here. I'm just saying that don't assume because that these people are in positions of power, don't assume that that relates to competence, because it does not at all. Let me give you another one of my favorite examples. I've talked about this before, right out of the financial crisis. Remember, Barney Frank was the guy who was given credit for putting out the DoddFrank legislation to fix the financial crisis after it happened. This is Barney Frank quote before the financial crisis. These two entities, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, are not facing any kind of financial crisis. The more people exaggerate these problems, the more pressure there is on these companies, the less we will see in terms of affordable housing. They were pushing this, he and his buddies, and not just one side of the aisle, both sides. They were pushing all this affordable housing, and that was code for making banks give houses and give loans to people who could not afford to be in those homes. That's what that meant. And if the banks didn't do it, they would send the regulators in to punish them for not doing it. They were threatened with this. The reason I know, my father was on a board of a bank. He knows it happened. He was a builder at the time. He knows it happened. Okay. All right. Now, let's see. And this is DoddFrank. So the term Dodd-Frank refers to a comprehensive and complicated piece of financial regulation born out of the Great Recession of 2008. So you got a guy, you got the picture of competence, Barney Frank. You got a guy who was promoting all of this, quote, affordable housing. He was promoting it. And then who do they give the reins to once the disaster hits? One of the very people is going to, quote, fix it after they were involved in pushing all of it and creating the problem. This is the world we live in, people. Don't assume that these people are smart. Don't assume that these are the people who need to be in charge. They just are in charge, and it gets scary at times. Now, I wanted to give some credit here. On the Chain, welcome to the On the Chain, a place to watch and learn about everything blockchain. We are just getting started. Meet the contributors. This is onthechain.io. And what this is a group of it's influencers and YouTubers. And they've joined forces, and a lot of these people are from the XRP community. So I wanted to make sure you knew about it and so you could go check them out. And you'll recognize a lot of these. Crypto Eddie, Jungle Inc., Rob Cash, Sincerely George, Oz Crypto, Jeff from the Hodl Review, Rain, and then Chip off the block. And so if you haven't gone and looked at this, go look at it, and you can go and listen to these guys and then subscribe to their channels as well. These kind of things, I like seeing people getting organized because these are the kind of things that help to push adoption and things like this. Okay. XRP Crypto Wolf. Looks like I was spot on with my call and theory. I have a feeling that yesterday, 924, was the lowest XRP will ever go this year. So hopefully the worst has already passed so we can start uptrend into a bull market in Q4 December. XRP community, how many of you bought the XRP dip? Well, the digital asset investor did buy the XRP dip. Took me a day or two. I didn't get in exactly where I wanted to, but I did get in. He says that he's retweeting his tweet. XRP wicked all the way down to 22 cents, but the bears can never fully break strong support at 24 cents. They can never get it close below 24 cents. I have a theory that Ripple sold XRP around those prices, so support is always defended every single time. Buy the XRP dip. And then he had tweeted this out as well. Automaker Daimler, which owns Mercedes-Benz, among other brands, has carried its first commercial payments transaction on the blockchain, based the Marco Polo Trade Finance Network, which uses R3 Corda. The pilot was conducted in minutes instead of days. I think they can see what they need to see really quick with blockchain technology using R3. Lionel, now it looks like some kind of congressional type hearing facilitating faster payments in the U.S. In your testimony, this is from the hearing. In your testimony, you urged the Fed to fully explore the use of digital currency, including cryptocurrency based on a distributed ledger technology, infatuating real-time settlement between banks. And so this is a dialogue where they're actually telling them that they're exploring the use of digital assets. If they're saying that in one of these hearings, you know what's really happening. You know where this is all going, folks. Okay, from Free American Spirit at F American Spirit sent me this. This is an article from about Litecoin's Charlie Lee says Ripple uses the fake it until you make it strategy. And what this is these are some of the Bitcoin and Litecoin guys that are every once in a while they pop up. This is from the Charlie Shrim's Untold Stories podcast. Charlie Lee, he says, Shrim responded to them. He says, I don't think Ripple, he's basically saying that Ripple tried to, offer him XRP in order to list XRP or whatever. Well, what this, descended into, then this became a tweet from Green Eggs and Ham, who's Sam I Am. Now look, and give him a follow, Ham, Eggs, and Sam. But this is a tweet that he sent out from this article. Hey, and this is the guy that wrote the article. There's no mystery to how XRP was created. OpenCoin pre-mined them and gifted them to Ripple Labs. Did you not know this, or were you just trying to create drama with your article? Can you name people claiming XRP is hyperinflating? And then now they bit off way more than they can chew. Between Sam I Am and David Schwartz, these guys are not going to win any argument. I can promise you that. David Schwartz comes in and says, it's a matter of public record that Chris, Jed, and Arthur founded the ledger and asset. At that time, Ripple, before the company existed, and agreed to give XRP to the company. 5 minutes with a search engine would find the documents. And then this is the document where they actually did this. Now, this is extremely important right here, because Ripple, the asset was created before Ripple existed. This right here, folks, remember, we talked the other day about the XRP lawsuit. Here's the problem, and this is the reason those lawsuits are always going to get thrown out. There has to be standing to sue in these lawsuits. Well, when you're suing someone, it has to be, it's going to be an individual or a company, okay, that's being sued. Well, if you're suing, now think about, I'll take you through this thought pattern for a minute. If you are suing Ripple, you're suing, this guy's trying to sue the company Ripple about having lost money on XRP. Well, it can be proven very clearly that Ripple did not create XRP. OpenCoin did. So what any judge is ultimately going to say is you're suing the wrong entity. This isn't even this is getting thrown out because you're suing the wrong entity. Well, if they go and sue OpenCoin, that's fine. Sue OpenCoin. I don't even know if that company still even exists. That company may have been shut down. So it's a dead end any way you look at it. So anyway, David Schwartz has set the record straight here. And then Sam I Am came back in and says, you've done it now, Mark. You've poked the bear, never poked the sleeping bear. And then later on down here, Green Eggs and Ham gave them a video here. And then David Schwartz, I believe, came back in at some point here. Yeah, right here. I don't think he knows what the word bribe means, but giveaways were always a part of our strategy, and all cryptocurrencies are made out of thin air. Okay. And see, and that's the part of this that always blows my mind, is that all of these people, like Bitcoin people and Charlie Lee from Litecoin, they're always talking about how Ripple created XRP out of thin air and all that. What did Charlie Lee do? You know what the only real difference is? That Charlie Lee sold all of his. That's the real difference. But you know what the other difference is? Ripple has been completely transparent and shown everything that they've done all along with their XRP. Every time the name Charlie Lee comes up, and I've told you before, Litecoin is the one digital asset that has never made any sense to me. I've never been able to make heads or tails out of why in the world anyone would invest in this. the guy that created it himself, Charlie Lee. And I don't understand why these proof of work guys think. How could you think that Charlie Lee is so pure? He created the digital asset. He's already cashed in. What makes him pure in the creation of a digital asset? That's what I've never been able to figure out. Well, I can show you something that doesn't make him pure. This is a C3 Nick tweet. Anytime I hear the name Charlie Lee, I think of this tweet. This is from back on January 9th of 2019. Something for Charlie Lee fans out there. Here's an interesting piece of information to look at. He told his followers to hold on for dear life while he began to sell. This is a tweet from December 8th of 2017. Hodl for dear life. This is what a rocket ship to the moon feels like. Then later on January 16th, he tweets this out to those that claim that I sold at the all-time high. I actually did not. I sold on 3 separate times. 12/8, the same day that he sent this tweet out, he sold at $96 some of his Litecoin. So he's telling the people to hold while he's selling. That is all I need to see, folks. And I've never seen anyone refute this ever. I've never seen anybody show any evidence that this is not completely accurate. Okay, I think I'm going to end this video here, and I'll get back to this in another video because I've gone too far. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that governmental incompetence, that's a way of life, folks. I mean, that's the world we live in, unfortunately. Thank you for listening.